Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports. I'm your host, Jake Gardner, alongside my brother, Zach.
Howdy doody.
And today we're going to recap Week 3 of fantasy basketball and go over Week 4 prep. And this week, in addition to our normal segments, we'll also add going over trades, buy lows and sell highs. So, you know I love my trading if you know me in a fantasy league. So
Oh, yes, I know you, and I know you like your trading.
I just made a couple. Well, we just talked about one in hockey, but anyway, let's jump into top performers. I'll take point guard, Chris Paul.
Let's do it,
50,
bro.
Yeah. Chris Paul, 50.5 average. LaMelo Ball, 48 average. So he's still doing great even when they're losing. So, I mean, just amazing. Luka Doncic, 47.5 average. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 45.5 average. Jonte Murray, 45 average.
And then we got them shooting guards. Donovan Mitchell, 48 average. Devin Booker, 45.9 average. Fred VanVleet, 42.9 average. James Harden, 41.1 average. And Zach LaVine, 40.9 average.
Yeah, and if I didn't state earlier, but last week we started doing like the past 7 days review of the stats. So this is on the past 7 days in a custom points league that values defensive stats. Small forward, Paul George, 52.2 average. DeMar DeRozan, 48.2 average. Kevin Durant, 43.7 average. OG Anunoby, 43.5 average. Miles Bridges, 42.6 average.
The original Anunoby.
Yeah, no surprises here.
Really. No surprises there. Power forward. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 51.6 average. Julius Randle, 45 average. Christian Wood, 42.6 average. Anthony Davis, 40.9 average. And Kristaps Porzingis, 40.4 average.
Mm-hmm. And that might be on one game. He just came back from injury. Centers, Nikola Jokic, 53.8 average. Jared Allen, 50.5 average. Joel Embiid, 43 average. Karl Anthony Towns, 42.2 average. Miles Turner, 41.5 average. So, yeah, pretty standard week. Nobody broke out that isn't surprising on these lists. So, jump into injury news. LeBron James' abdomen. Originally, it was thought he was going to miss a week. Now he could be sidelined much longer than anticipated. Could be 4 to 8 weeks.
Yikes.
So, if you're a LeBron owner, we'll talk about him more later in the show here. Jaylen Brown, hamstring, may miss a couple weeks, so that definitely hurts because he was kind of having a breakout season. Not that he hasn't been amazing before this, but he wasn't doing this high of an average in fantasy. Chris Middleton, COVID-19 protocols, so we're just talking about this in hockey. A lot of people are going into protocols, so we're really hoping that nothing comes, like it doesn't get too overextensive. Brandon Ingram, hip. This is how great ESPN is. It said hit. Brandon Ingram hit. So that tells you how much ESPN fantasy cares. I don't know. We've been talking about
hit in the hip.
Yeah, we've been talking about maybe moving, but this is another thing that they've been doing this for like 6 years with bad English, or just I don't know. They type it once and they don't have a peer review at all at a professional company.
Nice.
So this high quality shit here. Ayton, lower leg, unlikely to play Monday, so he missed a couple games, or just one game so far, but that'll be the second. But unlikely to play Monday really means that the next game he could miss too, because they already ruling him out, which isn't always a great sign. Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. back will undergo further testing, so it's worrisome because
that's what he came out of college with.
Yeah, he's got an extensive back injury history. They just paid this man, and then also he was starting the year pretty bad, and this could be why. Maybe he was playing through some pain. So we're hoping for the best here. I mean, best case scenario, I feel like just they sit him out a week. I don't know. They're not going to rush him back. So
yeah,
after they just paid the man a hefty contract. We'll talk about him more later as well. Malcolm Brogdon, illness, not COVID related, missed Sunday's game. So he's been battling this for several different games. Like he's been questionable and then he played or didn't play. So
And he's great when he does come in.
yeah, but at least it's not COVID. We'll see what happens. Kemba Walker rested Sunday because it's a back-to-back and he'll play Monday. So I believe right now it's not said to be an injury, but we'll see if there's anything that comes out Monday. Jacob Pulte, COVID, expect to miss several games. D'Angelo Russell, ankle, practice Sunday. Yeah, he's also another guy who's had a rough start to the year, so we'll talk about him. Mike Conley, rest out Sunday for injury maintenance. He's been doing really well, so they just want him to last the whole season, that's all. PJ Washington hyperextended his elbow a couple games ago, so he will be reevaluated earlier this week, but I could see him missing the week, honestly. Lauri Markkanen, COVID, in COVID protocol, so he'll probably miss a week.
Okay.
No, those are your injury updates.
Awesome.
Now scoop them up. I'm going to break into it. I did leave off, you know what, I did add Seth Curry. So I left off a couple other guys that are just already over 70% owned, and even though they still haven't been added, up to 90%. We talked about a lot of them last week, and I just want to focus on new blood here. So, Franz Wagner, 28.4% owned, 27.3 average in the last 7, and he's still doing this with Okeke back. I don't know if Okeke would take more of his minutes as the weeks progress here, coming off an injury, but, I mean, just ride him while he's hot. He's kind of a stream scoop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scoop stream. Tyrese Maxey, 27.2% owned, 28.5 average in the last 7 with heavy minutes, like he's been getting around 40 for Philadelphia.
And he's looked really good. I watched those Bulls games this week, so I definitely was noticing him a lot on the court.
Yeah, this is starting to look like it's not a fluke. And if Ben Simmons isn't coming back, this guy and Shake Milton, I think, are must grabs down the stretch here. So yeah, I don't think you would just grab him to stream him. I think this is a guy you would pick up, see how he does this whole week. Nicholas Batum, 11.2% owned, 30.9 average in the last 7.
Wow.
For the Clippers. He's kind of looking vintage Batum, so I think it's a deep league move. Like a 12-team or more. Definitely worth a look, because he can play ball. He does it all.
So, would he be someone that you maybe drop Terrence Mann for?
I mean, right now, he's doing better than him. I like Mann a lot, but they're putting him on the bench and they're not giving him the minutes. So we'll see. If that's your worst player and you just want to, and you're like, okay, well, I just want to stream my last spot until I find a consistent guy, then why not?
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not even your worst player, I don't know if I'd drop Mann yet for the upside.
Yeah, he might be my worst player.
Okay. Yeah, if you're thinking, I'm just going to put him on my watch list and stream hot players right now, then yeah.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony, 66.7% owned. It went up like 30% after LeBron went down. So I still put him on here, even though it's pretty high, because with that new LeBron news of missing possibly a month or 2, it's kind of a must grab guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be filling in a lot of those minutes. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the number 1 or 2, but he could still be the number 3 on this team.
Yeah.
With the old boys. And he's looked good. I mean, he's not being grabbed for nothing. He's looked good. He's
in a no-stress role, too, coming in off the bench and score. I mean, that's what he's best at by far. And he has it's like a no-stress situation for him just to come in and shoot some shots.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe putting him into a more starting role, he doesn't give you much on defense or anything. And I don't know if he can run an offense like LeBron does. So, but I mean, he's going to be getting plenty of volume.
It's just more shots, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a guy to try out, see if he keeps hot with a shot. Thaddeus Young, 48.3% owned, 26.7 average in the last 7, but Jacob Pulte just went down, like we said above. So this Thaddeus Young in the past 2 games has looked really good. He's looked vintage, like Indiana Pacers Thaddeus Young. So
wow,
definitely worth a stream for this next week and see where that goes. Shake
Thaddeus
Milton,
Young. gonna make you gladius if you pick him up.
Oh my god. Yeah. Zach Gardner, everyone. Shake Milton, 6.7% owned, 26 average in the last 7, and he was coming off injury and his minutes are rising. So yeah, that's why I think him and Maxey are both grabbable, and if Maxey's already gone, you could grab Milton, especially in a deep league. I
Call
mean,
it the shake and bake combo.
yeah, I was pretty pissed when a guy grabbed him before I could in our 12-team league. So it's already gone in our 12-team, but could be available in yours, or should be, 6.7. So Patrick Beverly, 6.6% owned, 23.2 average in the last 7. It's a deep league move because he gets you those steals and defensive stats and blocks. So
right,
just for those extra stats, he's worth
yeah.
I was deep league.
I was like a week ahead of you on this. I actually was in a very close matchup in our 12-team league. I think it might have been last week. It was last week. I was in a very close matchup coming down to the last day, and I picked up Patrick Beverly to stream for a Sunday, and he got me the points I needed to win. So,
damn,
that was
nice.
a good little move. I dropped him on Monday.
Wait, are you gonna beat Aaron?
I'm down 50, so I don't know. I feel like he's gonna win, but I do have
you have today.
I don't think I have my best guys today either.
Oh damn. Okay, now I'm down like almost 100.
Yeah, but do I have guys still to start yet?
Looks like Brogdon didn't play. You got Terrence Mann.
Okay.
It looks like he's got you he's got you pinned. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's okay. The ball fondlers will bounce back.
For sure. I mean, you're playing the hottest team to start the year. So.
Yeah. It would have been a very, very, very good beat if I was able to win that, but kind of how I expected it to go. I expected to lose this week with all the injuries and stuff that I have. So
for sure. Seth Curry, we talked about him last week, but I don't know. That's enough said for me because his floor is 25. So if that's your bottom guy, that's good.
Right.
And I think he's just gonna. We're talking about several guards here on Philly, but he can get hot any time. I think he's a great option to have on your team, and you're gonna feel more comfortable with him rather than kind of a hot or cold guy.
Right.
Even though he's been hot and cold, he proved it last year what he can do.
I'll always take guys that can get you 25 for the bottom of your bench that have a great jump shot like he does. I mean, that's a very low risk ad.
For sure. Reggie Jackson, 58.2% owned. So this is more 10 team, but he might be available in a 12 team that's not super competitive. But 31.8 average. He's kind of starting to look like his playoff form from last year, which was when he kind of broke out and proved himself. And that's why they went pretty far in the playoffs. So definitely a grab. Looks good. Jae'Sean Tate, 9.4% owned. I mean, he is the small forward on Houston, and they're not going to get a lot of wins this year. It's a young team. But he's going to get the minutes, and he's got plenty of chances here to keep proving himself. So 26.2 average in the last 7. Definitely grab him in a deeper league. PJ Washington is a grab and stash. I've seen him dropped in several leagues. And now he's going to be out for a couple games with the hyperextended elbow. But people were dropping him because he didn't start hot. But last year he did average 30 in fantasy. So it's a guy to throw in your IR if you have one.
Yeah.
And then people are dropping. I was looking at these kind of if people drop bigger names or just decent names. Mccall Bridges, Marcus Smart, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Mitchell Robinson. These are all guys that if you don't want to go with one of these hot players above this, that might only be a streak, grab one of these guys who's just underperforming right now. Especially the first 3 I mentioned. Bridges, Smart, and Colin Sexton can all average over 30 in fantasy, and they're all low 20s right now, or like around 25.
Yeah.
That's why people dropped them, but they're definitely worth a future grab. If you know your team's good enough, you don't need to stream people, you want a guy for the future, for the rest of the season, grab one of them. And then Jordan Clarkson's probably the best handcuff. if Mike Conley goes down or if Donovan Mitchell went down. He's just that great of a player. And then Mitch Rob's been up and down this season so far, but it's a great center to grab if you need some depth and there's not a lot in your league and he was dropped. I'd grab him.
Okay.
So, yeah, anything to add, Zach, to scoop him up? Any players?
No, not exactly. I
Okay.
think it's a good list.
Yeah, watch list. So with the Michael Porter Jr. news, just try to keep updates on that because if he is going to be out for a bit, Aaron Gordon's the guy to grab, I think, that's going to take some of those touches. It's not like he's going to be some superstar just because Michael Porter's out, but he's super available in most leagues. I think he's around 25% owned. And yeah, his touches will just increase. He'll just be doing a lot more for the team. So watch list. Georges Niang. I'd probably just botched that, but Philly power forward coming off the bench, 27.
Georges Niang?
Yeah, exactly.
Georges Niang. Okay.
27.3 average in the last 7. He just looks good, man. He's had 4, basically in the last 7 days has been 4 pretty good games. So it's something to keep an eye on. I'm not a believer yet, but watch list for sure. Davion Mitchell in the Kings. He's a rookie guard. He looks pretty good and pretty athletic. 23.4 average in the last 7. Definitely keep an eye on him. I mean, I know the Kings are stacked on guards. We went over that pre-draft.
Yeah.
But if they trade any of the other ones away, or this guy just slowly starts stealing minutes from them because he's better, definitely something to watch. So Zach, do you have any concerns on players?
I do. I want to talk about Zion Williamson. Should I be worried because I am an owner of him, concerned owner over here?
Of course, yes, because
worried about my valuable steed.
They said he got pretty fat.
Did you see the memes about him? Did you see what they were saying about on NBA on TNT? You know, with Barkley and Shaq and all of them.
No, I didn't see what they said.
They were watching the video that came out of him like on the court, and he looked like he clearly looked like he gained a lot of weight and didn't look in shape. And one of the guys on there was like, "Man, it looks like Charles Barkley and Shaq had a baby."
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that was really funny.
Yeah, but it sucks. It's sad.
It's funny and sad at the same time. Like, you know.
It's sad because, screw fantasy, just talking about it, but this guy is supposed to be a superstar level like LeBron coming into the league, and it's like he doesn't even care.
I don't even know if it's that. I don't know if he's just doesn't go on his diet when he's focused on his rehab. He's not worried about his diet, but I mean, diet goes right along with rehab, I feel like, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's either he's not taking it seriously or he's somewhat of a head case. I'm not really sure.
Does he have an eating disorder?
Dude, no idea, but
well, let's speculate.
You can get a chef. You know, he can afford a chef. He's kind of rich, so I don't really want to hear any excuses. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
It's the number 1 draft pick we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's not allowed excuses from the team that drafts him.
Right.
Because it's just kind of important that you're putting forth the effort and towards the franchise that believed in you.
Yeah.
But it is, for fantasy, it is concerning. So this is my take, since it says 2 to 3 weeks away from even being reevaluated. So yeah, sidelined for another 2 to 3 weeks. So he's not even... He's progressing to do on the court work. Okay.
Well, yeah, they showed that on the video, but
okay.
And he looked really large.
So that's 2 to 3 weeks, could be a month. If you're struggling, you're going to be 0-3.
Yeah.
And this guy could miss another month. You don't want to be 0-7. I mean, and you want a better chance of getting some wins here. I'd say trade him, but if you're just if you know your team's pretty good, most of the players are doing good, You just gotta hold him on your IR. That's it.
Yeah.
Like even if
And
you're 500, you gotta keep him. It's the only time I would trade him is if I'm just no wins right now. Try to get some value.
I feel like there actually is a guy that I forgot to mention that I wanted to mention for scoop him up, but I just forgot.
Okay.
We talked about some of the other concerns that I had with the injuries, but so we don't need to do all that. But what do you think about Jalen Brunson? Is he like a must add?
People are adding him, so type him in again.
He's approaching a 30 average. He's getting more minutes now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge believer. It's in a deeper league, you grabbed him, so
I grabbed him, but I had injuries, so that's why.
yeah,
But
I'd grab him in a 12 team and just he's kind of a streaky guy, I guess. I don't think
right.
this is a long term thing, but
Well,
yeah, he's looked good.
and then Pascal Siakam had his first game today and scored 30, so looks like he's ready to go. Nothing to
Yeah,
worry
he only
about there.
25 minutes, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting stuff. So it looks like they're obviously a minute restriction coming off an injury. We'll see how long that lasts. So obviously he'll be in the 40 range if they start giving him over 30 minutes eventually. So that's about where we expect him to be, right? Living in that 40 range.
Which guy?
Pascal Siakam.
Oh, dude, I think he barely touched 40.
So you think high 30,
so
a high 30 guy?
I'm hoping for 40, basically.
So you think a mid to high 30 guy is where he'll be most likely, like
I'm hoping
35
high 30. God, I'm hoping 40. Otherwise, I'm screwed. Because Michael Porter screwed me. But
right.
yeah, 40 is just kind of where he's settled in the past 2 years. So I don't think it's going to be better than that. I don't think. If he's worse than that, then that kind of hurts you. So
Right.
you want him to be above 35 for sure.
I think he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is definitely what I wanted to discuss with you. Is Miles Bridges, is this the time to sell high on him?
No.
You think he's a hold?
Yeah, he's the second best player on that team now.
And he's the number 2 small forward. And I just was wondering if you think that's definitely, if you think he'll be this.
I think it's his breakout year.
Okay.
So, if for some reason you don't think he is,
I'm just saying, could you trade him for like maybe, could you maybe do like a sell high trade and get someone better even? But
I don't know who you would get because also whoever you're trading for isn't going to have the same kind of minutes this guy's getting. This guy's getting near 40 minutes, and he's young enough to do that. Okay. So with the more minutes, he always has a chance to get around this 42 average.
And he does have that chemistry, really good chemistry with LaMelo.
Yeah, I think it's just his breakout year.
Okay.
And it was just a steal for you if you got him, and probably the breakout of the year.
Right.
At this point we've talked about.
Okay.
But yeah, let's get into trade targets. So first week of trade targets, we need to talk about some buy lows and sell highs based on the performances so far. With LeBron James maybe being out 4 to 8 weeks, I think he's in the same boat as Zion for me, where if I'm 0-3 and I'm struggling a bit, I would try to trade him for just some kind of value. And I don't know, even when he's back, he's going to miss some games on and off as well. So now you've lost a lot of value with him potentially missing a month or more. And he was a second round pick, so try to trade him for a third or fourth round value kind of guy.
Okay.
Just see what you can get. You just got to test the waters, but
yeah.
But it's the same thing as Zion. As if you're a top tier team and you're good to go, then just hold them for the fantasy playoffs.
Right.
Porzingis is averaging 30 right now, but he's been at 40 for the past 2 years. So you got to try to trade for him. I know there's injury history with him, but you're trading up for that 40 average. So try to trade another guy around 30 who doesn't have an injury history for Porzingis, and I think that's a win. What do you
Okay.
think? I know you're not a
I
Porzingis.
Yeah, I mean, I when he plays, I like him. I'm worried about his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can agree though. Get him while he's hot.
Well, cold, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, 27.5 average. Everyone knows he could be better than this. He also has injury history. So if people aren't just dropping him, I saw a person change them to likely to trade in our league.
Mm-hmm.
See what you can throw at him, man. I mean, what about see if you could throw one of the overperforming rookies at him, or other overperforming players like Harrison Barnes, if you're willing to take that risk. Try to get D'Lo, because I think he could definitely improve from this too. He's not a 40 average guy for fantasy, but he could do 35. That's the ceiling.
Okay.
So he's underperforming right now. Jaren Jackson Jr. This is your last chance to get him. We talked about him as a breakout this year, and it looks like the past 2 games he's starting to come to form. So 28.3 average, and I still think he's capable of 40, able to put up those numbers because he gets those defensive stats. So try to trade for him for sure. If I had to pick like one guy out of all these to try go and trade for, it'd be him. Out
Okay.
of all these buy lows with the most upside and just less injuries than Porzingis, and you have more of a chance of getting him than LeBron James, you know. So
Right.
I should have put LeBron in sell high. I don't know why I put him. I meant to put him in sell high, but I guess it's scenario again though. Like you could be buying low because you're 3-0 and you want to have a guy for later. That's why I put him there.
Right.
Kemba
That makes
Walker,
sense.
23.9 average. Looks just rough, dude. He's had like 2 good games out of all the games. Rested Sunday night here. Yeah, he's capable of 35. I think that's what he averaged last year. And that was coming off of injury. So I just don't think he's found his groove yet here. And if you're a Kemba believer, this is your chance to go get him. And especially if you need a point guard, this is a cheaper point guard to get. Like I would offer Giddey for him, I'd say. Giddey's averaging like 33 fantasy points.
Yeah.
But he could definitely regress, and Kemba could definitely get above that. So
Okay.
he's on a good team. So it's just kind of, I don't get why it's happening, but he needs to pick it up for sure. Would you buy low on Jalen Green, Zach?
No.
No, you don't believe?
I'm not following the hype train.
Okay. So anyone listening, second overall pick, 23.8 average right now in fantasy. He's had definitely some red flags, some struggles early on. I mean, you could wait to see if someone even drops him. But you could also just offer like a cheap, one of your bottom players that's doing better than him, like low tier that you're not super high on. Like maybe Seth Curry, you could offer for Jalen Green for the upside kind of deal, like a smaller deal like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Michael Porter Jr., terrible start to the season. We're waiting to hear more in the back. 23.3 average. This is a guy capable of 40. And obviously in our league, Zach, I wouldn't probably trade him because it's me. If you're in like a first time league or just people are already giving up on him and they're worried about the back, you could buy low on this guy. Maybe he misses a month with his back issue. You throw him in your IL, but then rest of the season you have a guy who could get you 40 fantasy points a night.
Yeah.
So another big buy low. He'll be harder to get than, or him and Jackson Jr. be about the same.
Okay.
But Jackson's not hurt right now, so I don't know. But Michael Porter was a higher draft pick.
I'd be staying away though. Just that back and news scares me.
Mm-hmm. Zach would stay away. Damien Lillard. I only have him on here like another first round. Well, this is the only first round guy because he's way below his norm. And they're talking about this injury, this abdomen issue he's had for years, I guess, and he never had surgery. and it's clearly irking him and affecting his shot. So maybe people are concerned about that, and you could buy low on him. He's averaging 35.9, and we know he's capable of 45 to 50 fantasy points a night, average. So we're talking about a first-round draft pick here that's his only window is probably right now, unless he got hurt long-term, then there's no point in trying to get him, but yeah. Yeah, those are my buy lows. Any other players, Zach?
None that come to mind. I'm not the best with trades. I usually don't make a ton of trades because normally, especially in basketball, which I'm not as good at in basketball recently. I just have terrible luck, and everything I do bites me in the butt usually. So
oh my god,
I usually just stay away from that type of stuff. So I usually don't think too much about trades.
Okay, cool.
Plus,
Great.
everybody in our leagues is impossible to trade with too. So
I wouldn't say that.
I would, because it's
In
impossible
basketball?
to get any. Yeah, it's impossible to get any trades with any of these guys.
So I wanted to get your thoughts on these sell high candidates, but first, like a discussion about these two players. Jonte Murray, is he becoming a true superstar on San Antonio?
I think so. I think he's definitely their best player, no question.
For sure. So can he keep up this pace?
I think he can. He's got the minutes. He's got the volume. He's got the talent because we've seen it.
Yeah, 46.1 average. It's just insane. That's why I'm a little concerned that he could lose that. He's never been this high in fantasy. But is this like the breakout superstar, maybe his first All-Star year?
Well, this is the first year that the offense has kind of ran through him because they've had DeRozan the last few years, and then they've had Kawhi, and then they had, so he's never been like the main ball handler, I feel like. So
main ball fondler.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a little concerned because he's never done this before, and I know his injury history as well. So he's a potential sell high for me. If you can get like even more established name, like a current all-star that's averaging around above 40, I'd say go for it. But yeah, that's why it's hard because you want to just keep riding it while he's going, but you never know what could happen with a guy in their first breakout year if that's just going to fall off.
Right.
Is this the new Jonas Valenciunez? He kind of proved it last year when he averaged really high 30s, even when Jaren Jackson Jr. came back last year on
Memphis.
But yeah, and he averaged a double-double for the season. It was his best year yet. And then he was like the last starting center you could get in the draft this year because he's playing next to Zion coming into the year, they thought. And he's on New Orleans. But is he going to... So could he also keep this up when Zion comes back? This double-double, very good scoring average?
I think he can.
Okay. Because Zion's obviously a different animal than Jaren Jackson Jr. That's why I'm a little, I don't know, on the fence, but it seems like this guy just found his groove.
I think think the more apt question is Zion going to be good playing with this guy?
Yeah, this guy's more finesse and just, I don't know, he looks like the new Vukovic, like the younger, not a great defender, right? But he gets that high double-double average. It looks like he's kind of setting into that form, like with these numbers and how, gosh. This is even better than last year, too. This is 43.1 average. So would you sell high?
I think he's a sell high. Yeah, that would be a great sell high. But I think he's also going to still be good.
Yeah, he could still average the double-double, but will it be 19.3 points and 14.2 rebounds all year?
I would say probably not.
Yeah, that's what I'm back and forth because last year I thought the same thing. I sold high, and he never slowed down. Like, So I definitely lost that trade last year. Like, it was a mistake. I'd have to look back at who I got again, but I remember he did not finish as good as Valenciunez. And he just looks even, I don't know, man. Could be the new Vuk. So if you got him late, it's a great steal, and now you could just try to get some great value for him if you don't want to hold on to him. So Chris Paul, we talked about him as a fade in the draft, 42.7 average. I think he's a sell high because of the injury history and his age. I think there's going to be a stretch where he's out a bit, like a month, and you're selling high before the injury kind of deal. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's a good sell high just because of what you just said. Yeah, with his injuries and with his age, I think this is the chance to get something for him.
Definitely. Would you offer Chris Paul for Jaren Jackson Jr., or would that be too much?
No, I feel like that would be a good trade, honestly.
Maybe you
if
could
you
offer
wanna
him.
if you want to get Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, or you could offer him in a combo deal for Dame. Offer Chris Paul and like some other plebe and get Lillard,
Okay.
just a younger kind of primetime guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this might be the highest he goes here, guys. So this is your chance to get rid of him, sell high. DeMar DeRozan, 42.1 average. Even though I love him, I don't think he keeps this up. I think this is the Bulls now. They're going to keep switching off which guy's going off for a stretch at a time because they have that much talent.
Right.
Because one week it's going to be Vukovic's turn when he starts turning his shot around.
Lonzo Ball's going to have a week.
Lonzo's going to have a week. Levine's always going to have his weeks.
Right.
So DeMar is coming off like an amazing week.
We're going to have the Kobe White week eventually.
Yeah, if he comes back. But DeMar, it's just, he's not going to keep up a 42 average. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. And
I mean, he screams sell high. He's doing great. I mean, you could get something good with that, and he's still going to be a good player. It's not like you're getting rid of some guy that you think's going to just fall off a cliff.
Yeah, no, the farthest he would fall is like 35.
I think that's a perfect 1-for-1 for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, definitely try. Just try for some guys with bigger upside, and yeah, they're just going to get more touches on their teams than the Bulls.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes, 38.6 average. We've seen this time and time again for like 5 years now. He goes on...
He's a hot streak guy.
Yeah, he goes on crazy hot streaks, and you're like, dang, this is a steal as one of my last picks.
And then he'll do nothing for like a month or two, and then he'll have another good 3 weeks.
Yeah, so this is a huge sell high, and definitely the biggest one you want to get off your plate. So the other ones you could say are questionable, and I just want to hold them. But this guy you want to get off your plate right now.
This is how he's been for 5 years now.
Yeah, his base is like 30. It's not 38.6, so he's way overperforming. Cole Anthony, 36.5 average. He's the Orlando Magic point guard. He looks great. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but I don't know if he'll keep starting position all year because they want to play the rookie. They're high on Suggs and
the one they got. Oh man, the one they got from Philly. They have that other point guard.
Which one?
The one that from Philly is injured, Markelle Fultz. They have him too. That's
coming off the ACL. Yeah, we'll see that too. So this guy's a clear sell high as well, 36.5 average. I don't see it all year.
Since I'm an owner, who would you sell him high for?
Cole Anthony?
Yeah.
Try to get like Kemba Walker, or
maybe D'Lo.
See who else is worth it.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, try to get D'Angelo Russell for sure.
Or Porzingis.
Yeah, that might be a harder sell just because Porzingis is more established. But
okay.
Guard for guard, yeah, D'Lo for sure.
So you think D'Angelo Russell's definitely going to pick it up, or?
I mean, he should, man. He's got that hot shot, and he should be way more open for shots now with Anthony Edwards breaking out.
Yeah.
And got Cat. I mean, he should just be more open. So it's just if he can stay above these injuries and stay in there, he'll get his shots.
And then I had one before we get into these rookies that we're going to talk about. I
Mm,
just have one more guy to add to sell high.
okay.
Would you sell high on John Morant right now?
No.
You think he's gonna keep it up? Because I know he wasn't one of your. He was more of a fade for you this year going into the draft. So I just was wondering if he
No.
might be a guy you think
Did I
is a
say it
sell
was a
high.
fade?
Yeah, you said that
No,
you
I
don't
said he
think
was.
that.
I said it was a good area. I thought.
No, I remember you saying specifically about him that you didn't think that he was a first round pick or second round pick.
Yeah, no, he was a fourth round.
Yeah,
That's where he was. That's where people
and
got
you
him.
said that was a good area.
Yeah, I believe he wasn't on. I mean, we did talk about him, but maybe I'll have to go back and listen to what I.
I remember you said that you
But
don't think you think that he's due for some regression or something.
I think somebody else said they wanted they would reach for him, and I didn't want to.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
But
That's definitely yeah. Okay, I
no,
just
he's
didn't remember.
obviously gone off, but he looks just very solid. I know he's not a great outside shooter or anything,
Good
but nobody can
defender.
guard him. Like he's if you watch any of his just highlights, he's just so smooth right now. And I would have if I had him, I would have trouble trying to even think about a trade.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay. I just wanted to
one
throw
guy.
him in
You know
there.
what? I would do it. This one guy did it. I joined this league this year, this buy-in league, and one guy traded him for James Harden. So I would do that.
No.
I think.
Okay. Gotcha.
But James Harden is struggling because he doesn't get all those free throws now because of the new rule change. So
Right.
Ja is still doing better since the trade, and James Harden's I don't know. He should be better than this, but I would
Yeah.
do that. I would still do that kind of trade. So it would have to be like a first round talent for you to
Okay.
even do it. But
Gotcha.
otherwise, you got to hold him. Possible MVP, but yeah, I wouldn't trade him for much less than that.
Okay.
Couldn't believe that trade even happened, but yeah. Um, next I want to talk about all these hot rookies. These rookies are going off. They look super confident, and these aren't even the main ones. Maybe Mobley, but the main ones that were supposed to go off, like Cunningham and Suggs. But Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Josh Giddey. I'm thinking might have to sell high on a couple of these guys. What do you think?
um. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on who you're looking for and everything because I still think they're going to be good players. Like I like Josh Giddey a lot. He's got that high basketball IQ. It seems,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, man. I wouldn't. I think I would sell high on Giddey, and that's it out of these three. Just looking at them
okay.
again. I was thinking Scotty. You know what? I would still say Scotty because Siakam just got back. So that's a little scary to me. The only reason Scotty still had a good game when Siakam was back because he had 5 steals.
Okay.
He's not gonna get 5 steals every game.
Yeah.
And yeah, his points and rebounds were down with Siakam back. And now this is a 1 game sample size, but it's still like they're close enough in size and position that you're like a little worried about usage.
Right.
So I might sell high on Scotty for that reason, and then
Yeah, I
Giddy.
was I was gonna say I feel like Scotty Barnes was my kind of sell high just because of that same
Mhm.
thing. I like Giddy. I don't know. Do you think that anybody would give you
Oh
fair
yeah, I
value
got
for him?
in that same league I told you about the James Harden trade for John Morant.
Okay.
I got to trade through. This guy really wanted Giddy. So yeah, people are high on him because of that IQ, like you talked about. But this guy really wanted Giddy, and he sent me kind of a crap offer,
Mm.
and then I countered for Jaren Jackson Jr. and he took it. So
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that if you
yeah,
can
so
do
like
something like that,
yeah, that's the kind of talent people believe, man. And like, God, I want to believe it's all season, but it's hard for me to because like the NBA is just a different animal with the size of these players, and there's going to be wear and tear on these rookies. Like you see all these rookies time and time again. I think where unless you're LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean. Your body's already
yeah.
built for it. It's hard, man. It's hard to go all 82 games and not slow down as a rookie. So, yeah, I think I would sell high. I would sell high on Josh Giddey. If you can't get, like, just look for a guy. around that 30 average that is more established of a name, or one of those buy lows we talked about. See if you can just fish out some offers. Don't just give them away for nothing. And then yeah, Scotty Barnes with Siakam. That's a little scary. But Evan Mobley, I think, is here to stay. He's big enough. He's big enough, and Cleveland's doesn't have that depth to where I think he could keep it going.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other rookies we talked about, I mean, they're all buy lows because they're not producing yet. So, like, we talked about Jalen Green, but then Suggs in Orlando, I mean, he's probably just available, but somebody might be holding him. And then Pat Cunningham hasn't broken out yet, so he's a buy low if you really are high on him. But,
okay.
Yeah, that's it for me on any trade targets. Do you have any other questions on any players, Zach?
No, those are my main ones.
Okay. All right, then real quick, good and bad schedule. Orlando Magic and the Washington Wizards only have 2 games this week. So that's another reason to sign on Cole Anthony. But yeah, that's going to suck. So don't grab any players who are doing well from those teams because you're barely going to be able to play them. And then teams to stream Tuesday, Thursday. So if you don't know, Tuesday, Thursday is usually the day you don't have a full lineup and you only have a couple guys. So Clippers, 76ers, and Utah Jazz. You can grab like Royce O'Neal in the Utah Jazz and stream him. Hopefully he gets you like 20 points. That's a nice stream. So
okay. Well, write that down. Jot that down.
Yeah. There you go. And then the 76ers, we talked about 3 players and the scoop them up. So
right,
guys to use for Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
That was my, I guess, hiccup target. Is if there's a team playing both Tuesday, Thursday, and they're not in the main days of the weeks, that there's full lineups, it's a steal.
Yeah.
So you only have to use one move for Tuesday, Thursday, and then you grab a guy for the weekend. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. It was a lot of information, but super exciting, and hopefully you can make a trade and grab some of these scoop them up players.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back next week, and take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone.